Hi Gemini, thank you for joining me for your June general read. Please remember that this is still a general reading, so it's not going to resonate for absolutely everyone, and that includes cross watchers. Please switch the energies around if it applies, but never try and force a timeline to fit. If it's not your story this time, then it's absolutely okay to just leave it be. You will normally find that the bits that are not hitting the mark for you are actually part of someone else's timeline. Okay, so let's get into this for you then, Gemini. And happy birthday as well. Right. So Gemini Collective, please, for June. Okay. Right, so we've got number 5, follow your own rhythm. It says, releasing unhealthy attachments or beliefs. You cannot miss what you're destined for. Trust in the life cycles and feel the balance between effort and release. So the immediate feeling that I get with that card for you, Gemini, is you're going to be marching to the beat of your own drum throughout the month of June. And for some of you as well, you're letting go of attachments to an outcome, which is a really important part of manifesting. There's also a quiet respect here for life cycles and an appreciation that you're not going to miss out on anything that is yours to have. So it's like a sort of a quiet and respectful acknowledgement. At the moment, things are the way they are, but you're also feeling that your turn is coming as well. And for some of you, you are releasing false beliefs that you held about yourself. So sort of believing that you're not good enough, and you know, it's anything negative that you used to believe about yourself. The month of June, you're going to be releasing all of that. So that's a really, really nice way there to begin your June reading. Right, I will speed up this part of the video as well, so you're not sitting watching me shuffle through a card deck. Okay, so the Gemini Collective, please, for June. Okay, so Gemini, the zodiacs that I can see in your reading, and please don't hold on too tightly to the zodiacs that I shout out. Some individuals find the information useful and others not so much. This could be a sign that is somewhere in the chart of the person that you're dealing with, or indeed it could be somewhere in your own chart. Right, so we've got the Page of Cups, which indicates the start of summer. The Ten of Wands, which is Saturn in Sagittarius. Temperance, which is more Sagittarius energy. The Six of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo. The Eight of Wands, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. The World, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio or Aquarius. It's also Saturn, so it's earth element. The King of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. The Two of Coins, which is Jupiter in Capricorn. The Magician is Mercury, so it's air energy. The High Priestess is Moon, so it's water. The Three of Swords is Saturn in Libra. Nine of Coins, Venus in Virgo. The Seven of Cups is Venus in Scorpio. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, so that's fire element. And the Lovers, that's your card, Gemini energy. Right, you've got heavy Saturn and Jupiter influence in this read. very, very heavy Saturn, and heavy Sagittarius energies as well. So some of you are certainly dealing with a Sagittarius, or someone who's got Sagittarius Venus, or you have a Sagittarius Venus. Now, the interesting thing here with the Sagittarius, the Jupiter and the Saturn influence, I do believe that Jupiter is the ruling planet for Sagittarius, right? So as I say, there is heavy Sag in this read, Gemini. And Jupiter is your planet of expansion, optimism and abundance. And then your Saturn is the planet of restriction, pessimism and structure, right? So this is pertaining to a relationship where one individual is feeling optimistic and the other individual is feeling pessimistic. So there's a bit of a divide here between opinions, and again it's reinforced with your card, the Lovers. I'm just being distracted by that spider on my desk. I'll be back in a minute. Right, so I've just had a conversation with that cute little spider, and it turns out that he doesn't know how to read tarot, so I've had to put him in a plant outside. Right, I have lost my train of thought though. I don't know where I was. Right, Page of Cups, Ten of Wands as your current overall energies. What I'm feeling with this particular combination here, Gemini, is you've been carrying a lot of the weight, right, with the Ten of Wands, and there's also a danger here that you could be slightly overdoing it as well. It's time here for you to sort of take a break, right? Now, this is, I'm feeling on the majority is literally sort of your day-to-day, the day-to-day things that you need to do, so the things that you can't really take a break from, so it's like housework, childcare, all of that sort of thing. It's the stuff that you have to do, but it is time here for you to try as best you can to take a break from that, because there's a danger that you could end up burning the candle at both ends. It's time for you to sort of start delegating your responsibilities here, so that you're not carrying everything, absolutely everything, by yourself. Now, for some of you, there are children involved somewhere with the Page of Cups for some of you, so you feel that you have to do more than your fair share. So now it is genuinely time here for you to start delegating. And for others of you, this is an apology here that is coming in, and it's also an offer of help. So for those who are too afraid to delegate, or too proud to delegate, even too proud to ask for help, remembering that being proud, it's not a dirty word. There's a shadow side to every single card, the same as there's a shadow side to every single individual. It's literally about how the energy is utilised, okay? There's nothing wrong with being too proud to ask for help, but sometimes though that can come to your own detriment, all right? So it's showing up here in your read that now is the time that you genuinely do have to consider either asking for help or accepting help, because there's just too much here for you to take on. And yeah, for some of you, this is involving an emotional burden as well, for which you're going to be receiving an apology. Central to your read here is the King of Cups. This is someone who emotionally, they know what they want, and emotionally they're not shy to take action on what they want. And I am feeling this one as a relationship spread. I genuinely am. So there's an individual here in your energies, Gemini. Somebody who you felt has kept you hanging by a thread, leading you down some sort of path you didn't quite know if this individual was genuinely interested in you or if they were sort of stringing you along, basically. The King of Cups being central to this read is indicating that the individual that you have been dealing with, they are now finally taking actions on their emotions and they are approaching you. I am feeling this as energies towards you really, really strongly. Now, for some of you, they've already given you something, like a small offering. So it's like an offer that wasn't quite good enough, basically, with it being a page. They're now upgrading that to a king. So no longer are you going to be questioning this individual's intent, because now they're going to make it obvious with the King of Cups. Okay, so there's not going to be any more need for you to question this individual's intent. We do have divine guidance here in this read, Gemini. Divine guidance with the Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune, which is fate, karma, destiny. So there's something about this connection that is very destined. It feels very right. And there is a complication here, again, because I've already picked out straight away that for some of you, there are little ones involved within the connection. And your Temperance card is indicating that there's going to be a careful balance, a careful integration here, a careful blending to ensure success. It's also the card of compromise. So you and this individual that you're dealing with are going to reach a welcomed compromise. And again, Eight of Wands is just double down on that energy, because the Eight of Wands is swift action. It's also communication. So in this particular deck, I'm feeling that it's action that is going to be very beneficial to the outcome of this connection. So I'm actually feeling for some of you that this is pertaining to a relationship where you're considering sort of moving in together, taking that next level up. How are things going to work around the little ones and the other things that we need to take care of? There is a lot of compromise here. And the individual that you're dealing with, they seem to have been very standoffish right up until June. So June is the month where things are really going to start moving, and when they do start moving, they're going to move quite quickly. So there's something here that it is literally still in, it's still in thought. It's still in the thought process. It's not actually physically manifested yet. So it's kind of like you're batting back and forth ideas between each other on how you're going to bring this in, how it's going to be taken to the next level. Now, there is a worry here, Gemini, that's coming from your energies. You're very, very worried about should things go wrong, and you're worried about others being affected should this go wrong. So again, there's a lot of emphasis here on somebody here has got a child, and Gemini is very concerned about if it goes wrong, then it's the child's emotions that are going to get hurt as well. So it's very, very realistic, and that's what's taking up all of the time here on bringing this connection up to the next level. It's because you are determined to remain realistic about how this thing is brought together. I'm seeing that this is an individual that you've met online, because we've got the World card and the Eight of Wands. So there is a lot of communication back and forth that is happening online. And some of you have met this individual online, and that's what's playing into your paranoia about thinking the worst case scenario, basically. Yeah, you're trying here to balance out, not your options, but it's like balance out being realistic with, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we actually met up? You know, it's that kind of balancing out. Okay, yeah, I think I see what's happening here. Again, please switch the energies around if it fits, but of course if it's not your story at all, then it's okay to just leave it be this time round. But because it's Gemini's read, I have to address Gemini. What this is telling me here, Gemini, is you're currently struggling to manifest what you want, and at the moment you've got your sights set on a particular relationship that there are a few hurdles here, especially for those of you who are trying to hold down too many responsibilities, trying to do too many things at once. There are a couple of realistic things here that need to be addressed. The manifesting of this particular relationship, for some of you, yeah, you have met this individual online, and you are struggling with bringing this connection in. So that's why you've got the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Three of Swords. So it's like there was an expectation here that things were going to go a certain way with this particular connection, and there was so much emphasis put on the end result that in fact it's ended up in a bit of disappointment. See, the Three of Swords is when things don't always go as expectedly as well. So it's not just heartbreak and disappointment. It is also about when things are not going or haven't gone as you had expected. And it's not gone as expected because either you, Gemini, or the individual that you're dealing with, whoever it is trying to manifest this connection, they're struggling to release. So there's a lot of energies put into the connection, but then the way to manifest is to release it back up into the universe, and then the universe will sort of bounce it back to you, and when it gets bounced back to you, it's the end result is not always as you imagined. So there is a disappointment here that either somebody's not able to manifest this connection, or somebody is disappointed in the result of manifesting. It is very, very split down the middle here about which way that is swinging for you, especially with Follow Your Own Rhythm being your first card out as well. Trust in the life cycles and feel the balance between effort and release. I am seeing in this read, Gemini, that you are going to be receiving action and communication from this individual that either has been trying to manifest or that you've been trying to manifest. There is definitely something turning when it pertains to that connection. However, the result, while it being a happy result, is not necessarily going to be the result that you had in your mind's eye. So there's something here. It is almost like you're going to feel that you've missed the mark with something. It's a strange one. In your guidance is the 9 of coins, the 7 of cups, the wheel of fortune and the lovers. So your guidance again is literally, you know, you've got the 9 of cups, which is a strong independent individual that is satisfied with their current position in life. And then the 7 of cups, which is daydreaming, confusion, making the choice. So Gemini, your guidance here is, it's telling you to have faith in your own abilities here, and to not succumb to anything that looks too good to be true. There's a bit of a false promise here that came from the individual that you're dealing with. That's why I was picking up that, are you being led down the path at the start of your read? You felt that you were being strung along. So they've deliberately not told you something about themselves, but it's something that's still workable. You can still work with it. You can still do something with it. So they're asking you here with this particular combination to remain realistic about what is going to work for you. Because you do have to start thinking about yourself here when it pertains to this particular connection. Also in your guidance, they're saying here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers that there's actually an opportunity in disguise here, that there's some kind of upheaval or some kind of disappointment that is actually a blessing in disguise, because this combination is saying that your destined path is just around the corner. This is a really bizarre reading, really bizarre. There's a turning point here as well when it pertains to your romantic connection. I'm going to have to get some oracle out on this. See if I can get more clarity. So more for Gemini, please, for June. Huh. Okay, so you've got what to catch, an ideal partner or mate, abundance, self-esteem, value. The answer is yes, and marriage material. Wedding rings, union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. And reckless, acting recklessly, getting lit, highly volatile relationship or personality. Use precautions or protection. And coffin, endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation and transition. So we've got an ending and then a brand new beginning with an individual that genuinely appreciates you. Your turning point when it pertains to romantic connections. Your turning point when it pertains to this connection here. I think that I'm looking here at a connection that you've made that you're preempting disappointment, because there's been a couple of reminders from somebody from your past who was a complete bastard in the past, but there's something about this new connection that you feel that history is quite possibly repeating itself here. So there's something that the new connection has done or said that has triggered some sort of response within you to remember a certain individual or a certain event of the past. I would be mindful of that one, because that can swing quite quickly one or two ways. Either the new connection is a twin flame connection and they have a tendency to not deliberately but accidentally bring up painful memories for you to work through. And for others of you, you could be discovering that the new connection is actually of this cut from the same cloth as the individual that you were dealing with before in the past. So be mindful about where you fall in that category. I am feeling though, for the most part, that you've manifested this newer connection and you've been disappointed in it because you haven't received what you expected. And your cards they're telling you here that there's a turning point when it pertains to your romantic connections, and that turning point is going to lead on to a marriage situation. It's for Gemini. Oh, okay. Right, we've got Atlantis, rapid development, excellence and success. It says greater powers of communication, less fear, honouring your talents and your calling, feelings of bliss, connection, higher powers and abilities returning to you, and a sharpening of abilities and desire to develop them. High vibrations, sophistication, brilliance is heightened, an urgent desire to do something meaningful. And then water flight, heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, and weightlessness, freedom to feel, freedom to drop all of your burdens. Somebody here has had a child with an individual who turned out to be a bit of a shit, and that means that the ex is still very much involved in your life, and it's that you're trying to balance out. You're trying to balance out how the ex is still going to be involved in the child's life while you can enjoy your brand new connection. There is definitely still an individual in your energies, Gemini, that has the ability to make you question yourself. They have the ability to make you paranoid whenever they're around you. It was when you manifested the connection with them, you were disappointed because it wasn't the results that you wanted. And now you've got a new connection on your hands, and that new connection is highly likely to result in a wedding situation. So it's like you're in a situation where you're forced to live in two worlds, and you have to balance out two worlds into one, so that everyone can be happy, everyone can get what they need. That's why your read is very it was very, very strange to try and make sense of that, because it's literally, you have to try and live in two worlds. And that's what your temperance was all about. You're careful tempering, you're careful balancing, blending, cooperation, compromise. It is indicating that you are going to be very, very successful at balancing out these two worlds. It's going to require you at one point to live in one of them, and then be able to switch back into the other world as and when you need, if that makes sense. I really do hope that's coming across correctly. But yeah, that's why I was getting so confused all the way through that. The new connection is taking off, and it's actually starting to get really quite serious now, to the point where you can feel this turning point in your love life. But you've got the situation where the shitty ex, well, they still need to be in your life, because for the most part you've had a child with that individual. So it's not like you can just, for some of you, you can't just get rid of them because they're there. Yeah, there's going to be a happy compromise here that is reached before June closes out. There's definitely going to be a happy balance and a happy compromise and a success to balancing this out. No for Gemini, please. Yeah, blue moon, believe in the impossible. So that whole saying, once in a blue moon, it's like, well, when does that ever happen? Believe in the impossible. You're trying to balance out the impossible with this particular situation. It says, I'm lucky. You're about to get a rare chance. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person that you're inquiring about is a rare find. That's your new connection. If you can believe it, then you will achieve it, and the situation is unlikely to repeat. So there's going to be you're going to have a really amazing strike of good luck here when it pertains to balancing this out. Somebody is going to say something or give you an idea on how you can successfully balance out these two worlds, and to do it in such a way as well that everybody gets what they want out of the situation. Wow. Healing message, please, for Gemini. Healing message, please. Oh, okay. Compass. Okay, so it says, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. You're entering uncharted territories right now, and you can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. Money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements cannot help you find the true path. They are simply things that you may experience along the journey. Know that spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it'll be easy for you to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with spirit is the true north. This will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. So that card there seems to be reinforcing the message here, Gemini, that you are genuinely, you're handling this situation absolutely brilliantly, and you're on the right path with this as well. It's also an encouragement to keep going in the direction that you have been. There is going to be a spark of an idea here that will genuinely help you find the answer to this particular issue about exactly how you're going to balance these two worlds out. Positive affirmations, please, for Gemini. Okay. Right, it says, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. That's literally all about you keeping your intentions pure and honest and for the highest good of all as well, and providing that you stay true to that. There's literally, there is no way that you can go wrong with this, because you're keeping everything with the intent for the highest good of everyone involved with this. That was an incredible read, Gemini. Right, so for those of you who are easily offended at swearing, then your read has ended now. Thank you very, very much for watching. And for those of you who don't give a shit, then this is the Rebel deck. It's the Oracle deck that I always use at the end of my my first set of 12 reads to begin every month with. It's very blunt, it can be brutal and straight to the point, and it also works in exactly the same way as all of the other tarot and oracle, where it's for the viewers to decide what side of the table that they're sitting at for every single card that comes out, so the energies are still completely interchangeable. Okay, right, so we've got believe what you see, face reality, or live in fucking la la land. Choose bravely. Right, so the ex that you have the child with, they are needing to start facing reality, because you're moving on. Some of you are getting married to a brand new individual. You're moving on, and they need to come to terms with that. And they need to help you balance out these two worlds as well. You need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. Shit is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. Fuck, shit's about to get real. Yeah, no shit. You need your people around you, and detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. Okay, so that is what I have for you, Gemini. Please do like, share and subscribe if that has resonated for you. And thank you so much to all of those who have already supported my channel. I appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, then that information can be found in my description box below. So thank you again, Gemini. Happy birthday again. Please do take care out there, and we shall speak again soon. Bye.